I bet you've heard of Schadenfreude, but didn't know that that was a name. Like there's actually a name for something. So I thought I would let you know because I know that you are dealing at some point, you either have, are, or will be dealing with these types of people in your life who are dealing with Schadenfreude. It's a German word, and it's a German word derived from other people enjoying your misfortunes. You're like, I mean, I know you might not be this person. You might be like, why would you be happy that someone else had misfortune? This is literally the word for it. And you're saying, well, like, why? Like, that's just ignorant. Sure. But you don't have to be a narcissist. You don't have to be a psycho or a sociopath in order to have this. It stems from low self-esteem. I mean, that's severe low self-esteem, lack of confidence, zero-sum thinking. Like all of these things are going to come up. And they prefer when you fail or when you have misfortune, because then it makes them feel good about themselves, right? Because they're almost like pulling you down on an even playing field. So it makes themselves feel good. And this is why you have to be careful of listening to them, like listening to their opinions, worrying about their judgment, or even defending yourself to these people. All right. This is also why they will try to smear you. They will try to smear you because they're like, if you don't like this person, then they're going to like fall. And if they fall, I feel good about myself. Yes, of course, you might be like, well, I would never do that. I understand that. That's a good thing. But Schadenfreude is an actual term, a word to describe it. And so what you have to realize is you don't need to know their why. You don't need to take this personal. And that's why you have to be careful of your personalization bias. Because if you have a personalization bias and everything that somebody does is you take that personal, you're definitely going to take this personal. And then if you have insecurity yourself, if you're dealing with insecurity and low self-esteem, and you see that they're trying to control the narrative or they're relishing in it, sometimes your insecurities will try to still please these people. So do you see the vicious cycle? So now someone with low self-esteem and lack of confidence is trying to pull you down, okay? And then you go, oh my God, but I don't want them to be mad at me, right? If you're dealing with low self-esteem, you don't want them to be mad at you. So now you're trying to be like, well, can you help me? Like now they're needed. Now they're all of these things. And it just becomes a crazy cycle. You can't make it make sense to you. Don't even try to make it make sense. I'm telling you why it happens. So you don't need to know their why. I'm literally telling you their why. Don't try to change it. Don't try to convince them to be different. Don't try to say, well, if you do this, you'd be happier. You cannot do that. That's something that they have to determine for themselves. They literally have to figure that out on their own. And if they don't, you got to pull back. You have to pull back. You have to distance from these people. And here's the crazy thing and kind of the shady thing is most of the time, these are the people who can be the closest to you, right? Randoms on the street, you're like, whatever, like, who cares, right? It really, I think, it starts to hurt your feelings and it gets like, well, why wouldn't you want me to succeed? When someone is confident and someone wants what's best for you, even if they're not part of your life, sometimes they have to take a bow out. They want you to win. If you have misfortune, not that they have to coddle you, no, but they can say, hey man, like, so sorry this happened. Like, what can we do? Like, do you need anything? Let's flip it around. Let's give you incentives. See, those are the people you want in your life. Stop keeping people in your life who don't want the best for you. And if you find yourself with Schadenfreude, or you're finding yourself like, well, I don't want them to do this because I'm uncomfortable, check yourself. It's a good indicator, right? When these things come up, don't judge it. It lets you know an unhealed trauma that you still haven't dealt with. All right. These are all extremely important things on your growth path. You got to have a good growth path for yourself. And that means you got to be careful of the chatter in your voice, in your head. It's not even your voice. You might sound like your voice. It never was your voice to begin with. So the next time you find someone, and they might not come out and be like, well, I'm happy that you fell, like, but you'll know, right? It'll almost be kind of like, told you so. These are your I told you so people. I told you so. Yeah, should have listened to me. Oh, well, got what you deserve. Schadenfreude. They want to be right. They want to be needed. They want to establish their worth, their value in your demise. And like I said, you got to get it out of your head that family is family. Stop saying that to yourself. These are people who are related to you. There is a big difference between a relative and a family member. A family member does not have to be a relative, and a relative does not automatically qualify to be a family member. And I think when you get that, you're not going to take that so personal. And then you have to say, why am I fantasizing what I want from somebody, right? Because this is what you see all the time. And I tell you, especially if you're older and you grew up with like Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast and like all of these things, Snow White, not so much the nowadays like amazing, like, you know, Mulan and like all of these beautiful people, brave, and they're doing all of these things. No. You were told that you have to have this knight in shining armor. You have to sort of be the weak person. Somebody needs to come save you. In turn, you're trying to please these people a lot of the times. So the moment someone sees your demise, or there's a hiccup on your journey, and you can see this joy, or you see them now tell 10 people, well, told them not to do it. Should have listened to me in the first place. Should have listened to me. That is not okay to keep in your space. No need to take it personal. I know it's going to hurt your feelings. Process it, feel it, let it go. This could be your mom. This could be your dad. This could be your sibling. It could be your best friend. It could be some random down the street. But regardless of that, you have to understand that's a them issue. Not everybody in your circle is in your corner. You have to keep that in mind. Sometimes people are just in your circle to see what's going on in your life. Sometimes they just want the skinny on what's going on. They just want the tea. So, you know, these are like your Facebook people. These are people who are following your social media to be like, well, I don't really like that person, but what are they doing? That sucks, right? These are the people who do that. So this is why you want to monitor it. Block every day as much as you need to disconnect from these people, including family if needed. Get that out of your head that you have to take what they're giving you based on the fact that they're related to you, because that's untrue. And if you do that, just know that you're going into a people-pleasing mode, an insecure mode. So you're going to have to lick your wounds. You're going to have to take the L. You're going to have to feel hurt for a little bit. But on the other end of that, you're showing up for yourself. So the next time that you are engaging with anybody who has Schadenfreude, just remember it's a them issue. Don't try to defend yourself. And you know what? You could all day long say, this hurts my feelings, right? You could say, I'm hurt because it appears as though you are happy that I feel. Don't even bother with that conversation. You're trying to make it make sense, okay? You're trying to make it make sense. You're trying to get them to see it and be empathetic in a time that they don't have the empathy past anybody but themselves. And the fact that they're in a bad space. You'll see this all the time. The moment that you start to set boundaries, the moment that you start to grow, the moment that you do this, they're going to call you extra. They're going to call you selfish. They're going to call you so many things because they're trying to pull you down. And when they realize that they can't pull you down, they're trying to spread that to the world around you, the people around you, to try to pull you down. Let them wallow in their stuff. Their misery must be wallowed in by themselves. Doesn't have to make sense to you, but you have to accept it for as it is. If people want to change, they will, but they will not change unless they want to. So don't try to figure it out. Allow yourself to use them though, not use them, but allow yourself to take that situation and use it to your benefit to give you inspiration to keep going. Don't let their insecurity, their lack of confidence, their low self-esteem pull you down. Leave them where they are, love and light, wish them the best, and baby, keep it moving. And you gotta fall in order to get up and get better. That's it. You can't have a comeback without a setback. And we love comebacks. So let them Schadenfreude all over themselves.